Hey guys, today we have the most special guest we've ever had on the channel, probably that will ever be on the channel, and he doesn't know it yet. So, hi Miller.
Hey, what's up? What did you do?
Miller is actually gonna be our interviewee today, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna stick him in this, and we're gonna go for a drive, and we're gonna talk to you while we drive the GT500. What do you think?
I think that's a great idea. I haven't ridden in this car yet,
so
let's do it.
All right, here we go. Do it. Seatbelts are brand new. It's a little tricky. Yeah, I know. It's
What is that, The Office, where he's just like, I can't remember what show that is.
Sweet!
Dude, this hood is long.
This is a long car, bro.
How long? Do you know the dimensions?
I will have to look it up when we get back. But this is definitely the longest car. Oh, we got lots of animals over there.
You feel cool while riding in this thing. You feel like you should wear aviators and a leather jacket.
You're halfway there.
I know. I just need a leather jacket.
Gio.
I don't know how we did a rally with no earbuds, no headsets. We did that crown.
Yo, yeah. That's why my hearing's so bad. We got cars in front of us and behind us, so we're a little stuck. All right, so I guess because of that, now's the time. Introducing Miller, the expert cameraman extraordinaire, flies off, jumps in his side-by-sides Coakley.
Oh, nice intro. I like that. Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm Miller. I do videography around Charlotte. I kind of have like a little media company, I guess you would say, going. And yeah. I just try to capture as much fun as possible. I kind of that's my Instagram bio, is a good time enthusiast. So that's where I kind of like to surround myself with. So
that's why we get along so well. Mine is, if you're not having fun, what the hell's the point?
Exactly. So it goes hand in hand.
It totally does.
But yeah, no, I'm 26 years old. I am freshly engaged, and life is moving pretty fast.
Ashlyn,
right
you're
now.
awesome, by the way. So welcome to the family. Love it.
That's so great. Been in Charlotte for about 4 years now, which is crazy because time has been flying.
It's crazy, dude.
And I've been doing this media stuff for about 5 or 6 years now. So,
bro, and you blow it out of the park.
Thank you.
Like,
Thank
literally.
you
So one of the things I love about Miller's creative side is he can tell a story through his editing and filming like nobody's business. You literally, and it becomes engaging, and it just works so well. And that's a, like, you know how there's artists and stuff and they're amazing at their craft? You're an artist, dude.
That's what I've had to realize. Like, I've never been able to draw. I've never been able to paint. But I was like, this, I feel like, is the one thing that I can, like, naturally, I have, you know? Like,
yeah.
You know, developed. I had to develop it and find that myself, so.
Right.
Thank you so much. I mean, I've just been working hard at it. I know in the beginning I was rough, but I knew I loved doing it. So that's why after a while I was like, okay, I'm gaining skills at this very fast. I'm gaining knowledge really fast on this subject. I think this is they think this is my thing. Like, you know how everybody kinds to come to, you know, finding their own thing. I think that's how I came about it. I was just stuck with it really, and just was like, I love doing it, and I'm getting pretty good at it. Let me see where it can go, you know, so.
Absolutely. Well, and here's why I love what we're doing today. First of all, you're like the coolest guy ever. So this is the most special guest on the podcast. He's behind the camera all the time. You get to see him once in a while, but I think it's good for you guys to learn about him today. And what I really am excited about is he's in the journey right now. He's on the road traveling at, you know, 65 miles an hour, cruising, but you know, you're not taking any exits. You just keep going, dude. I love that, and you're so motivated and you're so driven, and this is what I want everybody to see, because it's one thing to hear my story and be inspired, or Brian Mann or Corey, like all these guys, right?
Yep.
But it's another thing for them to be able to relate to you,
right?
In the midst of your growth.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because after talking to you, Brad, Corey, Tom, anybody in our friend group, it's just cool to see that that's, you know, they may feel like at some points that they're so far ahead, but you have to realize that they were in my shoes. Like,
Absolutely.
You were in my shoes.
Absolutely.
Everybody's been in this stage, and it's kind of fun growing a business, kind of figuring it all out, because I'm trying to grow this business. I'm trying to go, you know, so many businesses. I'm trying to, you know, make them all work together and that kind of thing. So it's really, the journey's kind of a lot of fun, and
it's incredible.
I'm working a lot.
A lot.
You don't realize
this is a grind.
Like, this is a lot of work. So I mean, I'm staying up late, waking up early, you know, making plans. Like, every Monday morning I wake up, I set a goal for the week, I make it happen, or I try to make it happen as much as I can. I, you know, work up sun up to sundown. There's no time off.
No.
And that's what people don't see with the 9-to-5 job. You don't have that.
That's right.
And
you get to shut it off and
you
go
get to
home.
shut it off.
Yep.
Your mind relaxes. But with me and you, and I'm sure you're always coming up with new ideas. You're always trying to figure out, okay, but like, what's my next goal going to be once I accomplish this one?
That's right.
And so I'm at, like, Vinny's always said, it takes 10 years to grow a successful business.
It does.
And I feel like I'm on year 5. So I feel like things are rolling. Things aren't exactly, I'm not done yet. I can feel that I'm not done yet, and I haven't reached exactly where I want to be.
And nothing has gone as planned, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely not. That's not even the half of it.
But that's such a beautiful part about it.
Yep.
You just gotta do something. It's like trying to grow on social media, right?
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't just post once a week and expect to have 1 million followers. You have to, and you don't really necessarily know what you're going to be doing exactly.
Yep.
What happens is, the more you do it, and you just keep doing and doing and doing, eventually your niche comes together.
Yep.
And you're more comfortable, right? And
absolutely.
Whether it's in front of a camera or editing videos or shooting them.
Yep.
And then that knowledge and experience now, like, the growth is exponential after that.
Yes.
Because once you're like down the right path.
Once you have your blinders on and you're...
Sorry, I just had to get a little adrenaline. Little third gear pull.
This car is awesome. I've been so focused on talking on what I'm going to say next that I haven't enjoyed the car yet.
That's what I love about this. Okay, hold on, here's a second gear pull.
I may scare you to side by side, but this is fun.
But it's comfortable, right?
Oh, yeah. That gets up and goes.
It goes, dude. Well, it's 800 horsepower supercharged. It's phenomenal. We were warmed up enough. So let's back up a second, because I'm totally going to throw this conversation off for a minute. Okay. Tell them about your experience when you started in this media. You were working for Braden Price.
Yep.
Tell them a little bit about that, because you helped him grow pretty significally during your time with him.
No, it was an awesome journey with Braden. Yeah, Braden Price is
here's his
off-roading YouTuber. Yep.
Here's his tag.
He's a really, really great guy. I started with him late 2019. I had just graduated college earlier in the year. I went out to LA, you know, visited, you know, some YouTubers out there, and I was like, okay, this is the passion I want to do. I'm not going to move out to LA though. That's unrealistic.
Hell no.
LA is a little unrealistic. So what I wanted to do is come back here and find, you know, something in that realm, because that's where I wanted to end up.
Yep.
And so I went to a truck show in Myrtle Beach, of all things, and this guy came up to me and was like, hey, can you help me with my camera? I just got it. I'm trying to do a YouTube channel. You know, I've got 100 subscribers. Like,
that few?
No. So this is a different guy.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh my lord, dude. Because what's he like now? 2 million?
Yeah. So it was actually his buddy. It was Braden Price's buddy, Diego.
Cool.
And he came up to me and he was like, hey, my friend runs a YouTube channel. I just got a camera because I kind of want to do one. Can you help me set it up? And I was like, sure, absolutely. Like, I had a camera for maybe a year and a half at that point. So I was like, I know a little bit enough to help this guy. And so I helped him out. And then about 2 weeks later, he went home, and his buddy, which is with Braden Price, asked him if he knew anybody who was good with cameras, knew anybody that was good at editing. And he recommended me because I helped him out. And
isn't that funny? You were just nice to someone on a random occasion.
Random day, yeah.
And it turned into you now where you're about to go with this story.
We're about to go, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was, got on the phone with Braden, and he was like, hey, I'm looking for an editor. Do you want to try it out? And at the beginning, I was terrible. I re-edited the first video for him 4 times. And I still go back and watch it now and cringe.
That's funny.
But, so it kind of is history from there. I mean, I'll tell you a little bit along the way, but I worked for him till late 2020, 22, early 22.
Yeah.
And so I worked for him for 3 years. We grew his channel. When I joined, it was at about 620,000 subscribers. And then when I left and transitioned to another channel, it was at 1.7 million.
Whew.
So there's a lot of sleepless
You're doing
nights.
something right.
Yeah. So I moved in with him for 2 months, and then I got an apartment with one of my friends, and moved around a little bit to work for him and stuff like that. And then I got an amazing opportunity to work for a NASCAR driver.
I remember that.
Egan.
Yep.
And it was so much fun working with her, doing the fast-paced life because NASCAR, you're at a different racetrack every weekend. So
Yeah,
it was
right.
so much, very tiring. And then last year, I got the opportunity to try it out all for myself. So, and that
you've
was a
done
big step.
insanely well, dude. What's your subscriber base up to right now?
It's at 115. So 115,000.
Bro,
yeah. It's
that's
crazy.
awesome.
It's been a lot of fun. The first few months was very scary because I was like, all right, I'm kind of like trying to decide in this, I'm in this middle ground where I don't really know what to do. I don't know whether to look for another channel to like work for. I don't know, do I just go back to freelancing? Because I didn't really want to do that. I like steady income, but little did I know you don't have to. It takes a while to not to have steady income to make it and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, well, I ordered a side-by-side because I saw, the wave of off-roading going up.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, I think I love to drive. I love I'm always around cars. I love being behind the wheel rather than working on cars.
Absolutely.
And I think you're kind of the same way with that.
Yep.
And so I was like, all right, I want to be a driver. I want to get a side-by-side. I love this kind of realm of stuff. I love going fast. So I ordered a side-by-side while kind of technically unemployed because I was like, I didn't have any clients yet. I didn't have, my YouTube channel wasn't like
a lot of risk taking, dude.
Oh yeah. It's the more, when you're trying to build a business, the more you realize that risk is worth everything.
Everything.
Like obviously don't take dumb risks. Take calculated risks.
That's exactly right. Yep.
Like I'm not gonna go and buy a brand new car. There we go.
That's why we need to do driving interviews, because I can totally interrupt you when you don't even expect it.
Train of thought lost.
So what were you saying? I'm just kidding. I don't even remember. No.
So like, have calculated risk. It's you're not gonna have that chance of opportunity.
No.
I'd say take a calculated, well-minded risk, like well-rounded risk. Don't take a like fly off the wall. I'm gonna go buy a GT40 right now because my subscribers aren't that. Like my subscribers are off-road right now, and so I wouldn't go take that crazy risk. I would, maybe do something in the middle, like buy a car and rallycross it, which is like the GT40 and a side-by-side combined. So that way I can leeway into that eventually.
That's right.
Because I'm gonna have a GT40.
Well, there's a huge point that I'm catching on to that you're not hitting on, but I know what I'm about to say is true. And I preach this a lot. If you're trying to figure out what you want to do in life, you got to go work for people. Like when you're young, you got to go work and do different things, because eventually you're going to find it may not be in videography and editing or YouTube or all this stuff. It might be working for a real estate company or whatever. You're going to find what you enjoy. But the key is get paid to learn.
Oh, absolutely.
Go work for someone else. Yep. Get your experience, whether you're doing it where you're not getting any guidance, you're just like trying things out. That's one way, right? That's how I started. I started working for a real estate company in a back room, teaching myself the business, and then eventually went and worked for someone else that now trained me and molded me into what I am today, which now I own the companies.
Right.
So that is such a key point. You can do this, but you have to be willing to put in the time and energy for someone else before you branch off and do it on your own.
Oh, absolutely. You have to learn the trade before you try to, like, because what if you try to learn this whole trade and you don't like it? Like you need to have trial and error. You need to fail before you can even begin to think about succeeding, because you have to know what to do, whether it's right or wrong.
That's right.
You need to know that some things aren't going to work out, and some things that you put a lot of effort into might work out, and some things might not work out. You know,
That's right.
Just like, you got to try your hardest, and people got to realize that you got to put your effort in.
That's right.
A lot of effort in.
This is all earned over time. You didn't just drop into this. So anyway, that was an important piece I wanted to pick out.
Absolutely.
The other things I've heard you hit on, which are really cool, is not only now do you know your craft, right? You know you can edit, you know you can film, but then your next step was, okay, how do I build interest? How do I get people to come alongside me and be involved?
Yep.
Well, one thing that I'm sure you weren't used to is putting the camera on yourself.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Oh yeah, for a few, I mean, I had watched Braden do it 1,000 times whenever I left, whenever I, you know, oh God, here we go. Woo! Leaving 11s today, let's do it. I love
Squeaking
that.
tires, lighting fires.
So yeah, that was one of my biggest things that I feel like I'm still like a little awkward behind camera. I mean, all of my friends say it, Ashlyn says it, you know.
But dude, you've come a long way.
But
what's the only way you get better at that?
You got to do it over and over again. You got to.
Ding.
It's
ding ding.
I've realized this more in the past year than before of any in my life. Is have confidence, don't have any shame, and just try. Just in the beginning, it was hard to not get you to say You were
I was awful.
So with your ums and like you're like hold on, what do I say? But now you just know that you want to do it, so you have that much more confidence, and then that helps more than anything. I feel like, and now talking right now, like I'm probably a little awkward even talking right now.
You sound great, dude.
But
yeah,
put
in the comments. Does he sound great? Here's the judge.
Don't judge me. But
he's got a sinus infection right now, so
I'm sorry.
Whoops! I surprised him on the wrong day.
But no, I mean, you just really have to do it. You have to just get over you just got to get over it, you know? You just have to.
Here's a big point along those lines. You ready for this? Are you guys ready for this? Society today paints everybody as having to be perfect when it could never be farther from the truth. Nobody's perfect. Nobody doesn't make mistakes. There's a big movement politically, all this stuff, right? Where if you've made a mistake in your past, there's no way you can change, right? All this stuff. That is nonsense. That is the biggest piece of crap, because nobody has ever not made a mistake. I read my daughter and son this book called The Girl That Never Makes Mistakes. And it's a story about this girl who is like trapped in her own body and just feels like she has to be this perfect thing all the time, which we do to ourselves.
Yeah.
And society promotes that, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So at the end of the story, spoiler alert, if you're ever thinking about reading this book, she makes a mistake in front of a large audience of people on stage, and she laughs about it in the moment, and everybody else laughs, and then people actually look at her more authentically, and she feels more authentic about herself, and she's happier through the end of the book.
Yeah.
So all of you need to get over this crap of, I'm not starting because I'm not good enough at it yet, or perfect, or I'm gonna mess up. Listen, don't be afraid to film and make mistakes. I do it all the time. And you know what? People are going to hate on you in the comments. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. You're not human if you don't make mistakes.
Exactly. We need to be moving back towards being human again. We are human beings. We are flawed. This is just who we are.
Yeah. No,
right?
You have to make mistakes and have to fail to be your best version of yourself.
Exactly. Whether it's behind a camera or in a business or whatever you're doing, or working for somebody, or even being a dad or a mom, you're gonna make mistakes. No one knows what the hell they're doing.
No.
Let's talk about today and going forward, right? Mm-hmm. What are your goals long term? We've talked about this a lot, and you surrounded by me, and I preach this, right? Create yourself as your future self. So where do you see all this going for yourself?
So what I really try to aim to do now is, within this past year, I'll back up just a little bit, I dove into the freelance media, social media marketing world, where before I was just doing video and photo. Now I'm doing more media managing, I'd say. And so what my goal is now is I want to do media managing / marketing agency for a certain group of people. Now, in the past year or so, I've had other clients, various clients that I work for, and that now that I'm seeing that all my time with them, I need to pick the clients that I want to do a lot of work with.
Absolutely.
Rather than having a wide variety of people and making, you know, this money. I'd rather make the same, if not a little less, and do it and have my time. And I've realized within the last year that time is the most important thing. That if I could delegate my time out and I can get a lot more done to have more free time for me,
Exactly.
to enjoy life more, that's so much worth it. So what I'm trying to do is kind of build a little business between people in North Carolina, people, you know, up and down the East Coast, because a lot of creatives are leaving the West Coast and coming to the East Coast.
Absolutely. People are coming here in droves.
Oh, absolutely. So I'm thinking, okay, all these people are going to they're not going to want to do business back in Cali, back in, you know, the West Side anymore. So I'm trying to be that person to, when they get to the East Coast, fill the gap
Yep.
and be like, hey, I know you just moved here. I've got a really good creative style that I want to like put on your business, and I want to, in your persona, I guess you would say, and I want to like promote that and build that for them.
Do you know that one of the best ways to build a business in the entire world, do you know what the core principle of having a successful company is, or having a successful idea?
What is it?
Finding a problem and fixing it.
Oh yeah.
Filling a void. And you're doing exactly that. This does not exist out here.
No.
To the extent, now it does, but not at the extent and the quality and the level that you're doing it.
Right.
And listen, the more you commit to that small group, like to me, I have plans for you long term, where I want to grow the F out of you and make you really successful. And you're going to be a part of that, and you're going to benefit financially and with opportunities and all this stuff, right? That's coming. Hold on.
Woo!
They can't see what this feels like, but it's...
They can hear it.
This car, dude, this car just does it all. I love this car.
Do it.
Dude, squeaking tires in third gear. We're gonna continue this interview in 2 seconds. Wait, 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. You're gonna love this. 1. All right, we're back. We're in his element now, but we forgot what we were talking about.
Totally. We got to talking about future plans inside with some people who have some
You
serious
guys still
toys.
love this.
we thought we had serious toys with the side-by-sides in the cars, but it blows it out of the water. So
it's gonna be an adventure. We might be going on a jet to go shop for a new.
I'm gonna blur that out. I'm gonna blur that out. I'm gonna just blur the words out, so they
Make
don't
it look
really
like
know.
I'm cursing.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess to finish up, we'll talk about how to kind of where I'm at in the future, and where I'm at right now is right now I've realized that time is worth the most to me right now. I've started to, as you grow a business, and as Vinny and Mark talked about a few episodes ago, delegating certain activities, delegating certain tasks to your team is very important, so you can grow and so you can have more projects and that kind of thing. So I actually recently brought on a full-time editor.
Casey,
he's editing the video now. Casey, wave to the camera.
does incredible. Yeah.
Does really good.
He's waving.
Yeah, he's waving. He puts a clip in of him waving. But no, it's been awesome to have him, and and he's awesome, and I just see a little bit of myself in him, because he's just totally hardworking, wants to be in this realm of the world of media and that kind of thing. And so it's awesome to see someone who's also driven, that kind of where I was when I started with Braden. And it's just been awesome to delegate some of my tasks to him. That way I can do more. So.
And that's a big question for everyone, and I get asked this by business owners all the time. How do I know when it's time to grow? And my answer is, you're gonna know.
Oh yeah.
And you're
gonna know.
How did it happen? You're like, dude, I was killing myself. I need help.
Yep.
And it was just time.
It was time. And I was like, a few months ago before Vinny, I was like, how will I know? Like, do I need to start doing this now? And he's like, dude, I promise you that the time will come. And you said that about 2 months before I hired Casey. I was just like, I can't keep up. I have to delegate this work. I cannot edit every single video I'm shooting, which I love to edit, and I love to shoot, but it's nice to know, like, okay, I can shoot 3 videos today, and send them to Casey, and he can have them done before the deadline.
You need to be able to scale. You can't scale if your labor is 100%
on you.
used on everything.
Yep.
You can't do it.
Can't do it. Just not even for the business side of things, but your mental side of things.
Exactly
like
right. Yep.
It's just hard on you mentally.
Yep.
Really draining.
I agree.
So it's nice to, I'm sure when you were building, Mill 1 and MV2 and stuff, and it was just you and Mark, you're like, you guys were wearing yourselves out.
I literally didn't think I was gonna make it.
Yeah.
I literally had a couple breakdowns where I was like, I'm gonna.
People don't
I'm
see
gonna die.
that. People don't see that.
Because you're just so overwhelmed, and then the second you hire someone and the right person, and you take that leap of faith, dude. Now she's a huge part of our business that I don't even remember what it was like before her.
Yep. Nope. I couldn't.
And
you couldn't go back. Yeah.
The big stuff, negotiating big contracts and negotiating with partners and stuff, then delegating that back out, and now she's a partner in a business. Yeah. Because she's earned that. So it's just like
what Mark said. If you guys haven't watched the Mark episode,
we're gonna link it.
It's so good. Like, you learn so much from so many people, but Mark's episode where you learn how important a team is, that's what's important on that. So
whether it be your wife or fiance in your case, right?
Yep.
But like it's everyone you surround yourself with in your life.
Absolutely.
So well, with all that being said, dude, it was great having you on. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna do an updated episode in the future. We'll interview you again as you grow.
Oh, that's
because
awesome.
Then they're following your journey and not just like other people's. But I think right now it's time to go really put you in your element and go ride these bad boys. I'm so excited. This is what I do, guys. I do off-roading stuff. I like to go fast and hit jumps with Vinny and Brad. So we're going to do more of that on here, by the way, too. I mean, we have so many plans for this channel. Oh, we do. We're going to end up having to film a few more days, like another day a week at some point. Oh, absolutely. Oh, it's gonna come down to it. It's going to come down to that. If you want to see Vinny get really, really scared in a side-by-side, go watch Brad DeBirdie's new video. It's amazing. It is, let's say Vinny was a little out of his element. I was a little out of my element. I was scared to death. It's a reaction video. Oh yeah, his reaction video, so go check that out for sure. But, all right guys, you stuck around this long? Now you get to go see Miller more than me rip it up out there. But yeah, let's have some fun. Let's do it. See ya.